FLaiR, 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 FLaiR.
You may notice that sometimes in my presentations, the
FLaiR. Hey, a ray of sunshine.
The sound sometimes is not all that great, the lighting is not all that great. And if you think it's not great now, you should see
Thrilled FLaiR. You're here with me.
And if you think it's not great now, you should see back in some of my earlier videos. But you know what? I left it.
You know, there's different kinds of FLaiR. One kind of FLaiR,
I left it all exactly the way it is because my whole video presentation depicts a metaphor for life. And life sometimes has its challenges. And we
FLaiR. One kind of FLaiR that most people are familiar with is the kind of FLaiR is the kind of FLaiR that shoots up into the sky, right? It's usually a signal of distress. And you know, I've had my share of distress. The entire video presentation is a metaphor for life. Just take a quick peek at one of those earlier rays of sunshine. You'll see it won't take long. Just take a minute. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Then come back here. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Then come back here. Because we have lots of other important things like climbing up.
It's just a matter of believing over and over and believing one person at a time. That there might be one less homeless person on this planet. One person at a time. Or one less person that goes to bed hungry. If we can believe that that's possible for one person, we can believe that's possible for on the planet that's in that situation. If we can believe that we could alleviate conditions for, let's say, one homeless person, because it's just a matter of dreaming, believing, doing over and over and over, one person at a time. Chance to unite together. Here's our chance of our dreams. To deliberately create the world, and just having fun. The world just having fun. It keeps going higher by increasing the vibration. That's what this video series is all about. Hey. Did somebody send you this video? You can learn from their brilliance. We came here for to experience.
That's one of the reasons that life has to offer. And whether you think you got what it takes, or you think you don't, you're probably you want to go right. You're probably right.
Sign it.
Take a quick peek at one of those early.
As we would choose playtime. It's playtime.
At one of those earlier ray of sunshines, maybe in the 1 through 6 video collection, or back in
Create
the
you.
60s,
It had like 1 or 2 views. They all had at least 1 view because I viewed it. I liked it.
Back in the early program is based on the ABC transition.
And so some had 2 views, some had views. I viewed it. But the way it happened is one person at a time.
So if you go back,
and that catapulted, that mushroomed into clumps of people, groups of people,
just for
piles of people. Point where it's out of control. Oh, here we are. Back to sunflowers. Here we are. Back to sunflowers again. So anyway, if we can believe that we could alleviate conditions for, let's say, one homeless person, let's say one person at a time.
Some of those.
So it's the same kind of process for alleviating homelessness.
But anyway, if you don't know what you're doing, stick around. Help you figure out what you're doing here on this program and what you're doing on this program and what you're doing here on this planet.
2 things.
You can always count on. What I'm doing in this program. What I'm going to make sense. What I'm doing here, I'm translating. And I can't. That's going to be the truth. So there's other kind of FLaiRs too. Defragmentation. Time for a defrag.
You may have noticed there's a bit of a transformation in the arrow. In every single one of my videos.
A decade ago, I was doing lots of defrags. I was defragmentation forever. And
acquiring new attributes.
To defragmentize, defragment.
And that's what my whole presentation depicts. It depicts that progression.
So that things will be running smoothly again. Sometimes.
And I film it. I have it all on film.
That's the way life is. Sometimes. Life is a defrag.
Buried treasure hidden for you, along with treasure, hidden messages, miracle messages.
You know, because we go through difficult, hard times. That's the reason you're here, too. FLaiR is the kind of FLaiR. Because you can relate to what I'm talking about. Those times, you know, when you have
that time
up.
in your life when there was not even so much as a pinpoint of light at the end of the tunnel?
Right?
Any kind of message that your heart
And those are usually when you
desires.
flare up.
Your heart.
But we learn.
It's not usually something
We learn
that people look
from
forward
those
to.
experiences.
You
We
know.
grow from those experiences. We heal through those experiences. What my whole presentation is about. So my whole video presentation
A little bit,
shows a defrag. But you know what comes along with a defragmentation?
maybe something a little
You may
irritating.
know. My whole
Irritating.
system is based on the
Something a
ABCs.
little
There's nothing,
irritating. Something flares up, and I think that would be FLARE, flare
there's
up.
nothing complicated. About it. And as we
So
go,
there's that kind of flare, and that's not the kind of flare that I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about the kind of
as we
flare
go,
when somebody when you have a flare.
fall apart.
So
Pick up the pieces as human beings. It's what
Right.
we do. We put the pieces back
which
together.
would be
We
FLAIR.
get back on track. Sometimes it takes a while. One section to another. There are transitions. There are transformations. There are changes. Sometimes it takes a lot of defragmentation.
People,
That's
places,
all
things
part of the process
have flare.
of creating the uniqueness of you.
talk a lot
That's what I show in my
some of
entire
those
video
deep
presentation.
in my
And I
life.
try to
Frag
put things into perspective. You try so you can learn some things about. Do you ever say something like, "I want to experience all.
express
I want to experience
myself.
all that life has to experience me and learn some things about you. Experience all perspective,
I've often
and maybe discover
expressed
as you know,
myself with a flare.
that doesn't mean
because that
butterflies and roses.
Butterflies
Isn't
and
always
roses.
butterflies. Life is sometimes about difficulty and challenges and overcoming. And that's what we do as a species. As you know,
because that's what I'm all about.
those deep wounds take a long time to heal.
Doing something different to discover something different.
And I want to say, hip hip hooray for you. Hip hip hooray for you. That you're still with me. Hip hip hooray.
As a
I'm
species,
kissing you. Hip
as a human, as human-beingness, as human-beingness. It doesn't always look like rise above. We figure it out. We
doesn't
do our
always
best.
feel like
We
it.
do be our best. Do our
They
best.
are incredibly and you know how I feel inspirational, right? That's why I'm sending you there. Be inspired. Inspired. Love it.
That's the progression that I show in my whole.
So we all have our own flare.
With this shirt
And
this, I think it's Japanese. Kimono. You stay right there.
that flare comes from the conglomeration of everything that
Stumble and fall.
everything that it took to create.
Pick ourselves up. Dust ourselves off. Embrace ourselves. Embrace life.
The you-ness of you, the uniqueness of you, the uniqueness of you.
Rise up. That's what you're here for. To vibe up.
Oh, you know,
I'll
I
tell
tell
you
you
about
why I named this video One Joint. Because the name really is one joint effort. Because the name really is one joint effort,
Uniqueness.
as I may have told you. But you know, I have all those little icon things with the clouds and the heart up in the clouds, bird, and all those titles. And those little titles, I felt that One Joint Effort was a little bit extensive. You know, and those titles,
That's what we came here for. To experience all
The
that
flares.
life has to offer. To live, to feel, for learning loving,
And the flare-ups.
and loving living.
I like them to be quick and catchy, and so I thought that One Joint
You. That means you. As in capital Y-O-U. Delighted. I'm that you're here with me today. Did somebody send you this video on a silver platter? That's good news. They catch it on. They catch it on.
I click on it. See how that
A
works?
lot of my other videos for it. I repeat a lot of things. You know, I repeat them in different ways.
A lot
so
of my other videos.
it doesn't get too boring.
There's a reason
But
for it.
eventually, sometimes,
Hoping
that the message will finally sink
Be
in.
effective.
And so if somebody sent you this video, that's great
That's
news.
what
My
we're
sanctuary again. I have a number
for.
of videos that I have broadcast from my sanctuary, especially a lot of my earlier
That's what
videos.
you're here Whether you think you got what it takes,
This particular section was in there a couple of times with Peace on Earth tapestry.
or you think you don't.
So, you know, there's a whole spectrum of
flare.
emotions that range from the high highs to the low lows. And it's not like you can read it in a book, figure out what the high highs are and the low lows are. You can get an idea. But it's like childbirth. You know, somebody can tell you, oh yeah, somebody can describe it to you. They can say,
You're probably right. Your flare.
You know, shaking the world is not necessarily an easy task. It's a simple
it's a simple
matter
concept.
of
belief. The reason that we don't have a world of reason, that we don't have a world of the reason we don't have everyone treating everyone like they're our brothers and sisters is because we don't believe it's possible. If you don't believe something is possible, it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible.
And it's like intense, and they can tell you all that, but it's not the same as actually giving birth.
So that's what I'm here. I'm here to elevate. I'm here to talk about. I'm here to elevate the elevate of our thoughts, of our consciousness.
I did it with
Lighter.
I did it with.
I'm getting lighter.
That's what I've decided.
Requires being
a little bit light.
I mean,
I did it
it's
with.
obvious I'm getting lighter, right?
Like the one thing that I think you probably so far are appreciating about my channel,
Like some of those ray of sunshines back there, pretty tight. You might empathize with it. Tight.
I didn't always have
All of those ray of sunshines is what added up to this ray of
I didn't
sunshine.
have a FLaiR.
And so that will be happening.
I didn't have a FLaiR.
I'll be getting
Like
lighter.
right day one.
But you're never going, right around the bend, you're never going to know.
Whether you think you got what it takes,
Whether you think you got
or
what
you
it
think you
takes.
don't, or you think you don't. You're probably right.
Oh.
You're probably
So
right.
the actual experience
Unless
of it,
you
experience it.
Probably right.
So I think
It's the same thing.
I'm going to take advantage of this lightening up phase.
All of our this whole journey, with all of our life lessons.
phase, actually.
So the lows,
which is the space from which the river of tears flows.
this is what I want to talk about.
my channel is that, well, besides telling the truth, I make sense. And I don't know about you, but I like things that make sense.
Always
And
count things. You can always count on from ray of sunshine. What I'm doing this program, what I'm doing makes sense. What I'm doing here, I'm translating. And I get lots of messages, and that's going to be the truth.
And if you're finding that this makes sense, if you resonate with what I'm saying, then you want to share this video with others, we can all be on the same page and we can all elevate.
Actually, I was realizing that every single
Becomes a
presentation
That's what I show.
is what added up to those ray of sunshine. Ray of sunshine. Every single phase, every single ray of sunshine back there
Progression.
is the best ray of sunshine being portrayed at that particular time. Just like I'm the best ray of sunshine that I can see in my section.
Today is for celebrating the uniqueness of you.
New world.
You can celebrate the uniqueness of you.
That's what you're here
It's
for.
a good day. Celebrate the uniqueness of you
Share
every day.
Like
your FLaiR. This new world.
in a hot air balloon.
This new
For the hot
world.
air to keep going up, we have to either get rid of some weight or increase the heat,
This
right?
new world.
So the way to get rid of the weight that
We're
things
moving on.
is
Here's our chance
to
to
come
unite
together.
Here's our chance
That's what it's
to
about.
create the world of our dreams.
The world.
To deliberately create
What it's about.
the world.
And just having fun
all
in the
about
process. We keep going higher by increasing
Share.
the vibration. That's what this video series is all
Your
about.
FLaiR.
Oh,
Share
hey.
your FLaiR.
Did somebody send you this video?
Somebody send you this video?
You can
Figure
learn
out-
from their brilliance.
Figure out what you're doing here.
That's what we came here
This
for.
program is what you're doing here on this planet. Two things. Share your FLaiR. This program is going to make sense. What I'm doing here, I'm translating. And share your FLaiR.